At the county's office, I waited for a full 3 hours. Marcus finally arrived. Seeing the divorce papers in my hand, his face instantly turned ashen. "Grace, have you lost your mind?" "Lost my mind?" I sneered, my voice frighteningly calm. "Witnessing my own husband in bed with another woman." "Yes, I suppose I have." His face instantly drained of color. I shoved the papers into his hand. 3 years of marriage, a complete joke. I discovered Marcus' infidelity after the company's annual. That night, a stomach ache sent me home early. The moment I used the key to open the door, I heard a woman's seductive laughter from upstairs. I froze, and the key in my hand clattered to the floor. Upstairs immediately fell silent. I slowly walked up the stairs, each step feeling like I was treading on a knife edge. The bedroom door was ajar, and I heard rustling sounds from within. I pushed the door open. Marcus was hurriedly putting on his clothes. Lying on the bed was Chloe, the company's new intern. The moment she saw me, she deliberately pulled down the covers, revealing her delicate collarbone. "Grace," she said in a soft voice, thick with tears. "You're back."
I'm sorry.
"It's all my fault. I was the one who initiated it. Please don't blame Marcus." I stood silently at the doorway, watching this pathetic act. Marcus hastily explained, "Grace, listen to me. It's not what you think. Chloe had too much to drink."
Had too much to drink.
I looked at the condom wrapper on the nightstand. She was drunk but still remembered to use protection. "Marcus, do you take me for an idiot?" His face turned grim. Chloe started crying then. "Grace, I know I made a mistake, but I truly love Marcus. We are genuinely in love." Genuinely in love. I nearly burst out laughing. In 3 years of marriage, Marcus had never once said he loved me. We were college sweethearts who naturally gravitated together after graduation and then married. There was no grand passionate love story, but I thought there was at least basic loyalty.
Grace, say something.
Marcus grew anxious when I remained silent. "Chloe has apologized. What more do you want?" I turned and walked downstairs. Marcus followed me, grabbing my arm. "Grace, let's talk about this later. Just let Chloe leave first. Let her leave." I yanked my hand away. "This is my home. Why should my husband's mistress be allowed to walk out of it?" "Marcus, snap out of it, will you?" Chloe also came downstairs. She was already dressed, her makeup perfect, looking nothing like someone who is drunk. "Grace, I know you're hurting, but you can't force feelings. Marcus doesn't love you anymore, so why hold on?" She walked over to Marcus and naturally linked her arm through his. Marcus didn't push her away. That detail pierced my heart like a needle. "Doesn't love me?" I looked at Marcus. "When did you stop loving me? Was it last month when you said you were busy with work and had to stay late? Or the day before yesterday when you said you had a business trip?" Marcus avoided my gaze. "Grace, our marriage never had a strong emotional foundation to begin with. We're both adults. Isn't it better to part amicably, 3 years of marriage, dismissed with 4 flimsy words from his mouth. Chloe continued her fake crying. "Grace, I truly didn't mean to ruin your marriage. I'm not good enough for Marcus. I'll leave." She made a show of leaving and sure enough, Marcus grabbed her. I sat down on the couch watching their performance with cold eyes. "Since your act is over, let's talk business." I took my cell phone out of my bag. "Marcus, I want a divorce." "Divorce?" Marcus was stunned. "Grace, calm down. It's normal for men to make mistakes sometimes. I'll be more careful from now on. Make mistakes sometimes." I opened my phone's photo gallery, which held pictures I'd secretly taken over the past 2 months. You had dates at the coffee, watched movies at the movie, bought matching outfits at the mall. Yo, you call that occasional mistakes? Marcus's face completely changed. Chloe dropped her act, a smirk playing on her lips. "Grace, since you already know, I won't pretend anymore. Yes, Marcus and I have been together for a while. You're just a worn-out wife. What makes you think you can compare to me? Worn-out wife. I'm 27 years old, and I meticulously take care of my skin and work out every day. How am I a worn-out wife?" But none of that mattered anymore. I stood up. Tomorrow we'll go to the county's office. I've already made an appointment. Marcus grew frantic. Grace, don't make a scene. We might not have had a passionate relationship, but there's still our marital bond of 3 years. Are you really going to be this ruthless marital bond? I scoffed. You bring another woman back to our marital home, sleep in our marital bed, and then talk to me about a marital bond. Chloe interjected with a snide tone. Grace, why do you have to be so aggressive? Marcus doesn't love you anymore. Acting like this will only make him resent you more. I glanced at her, then told Marcus, tomorrow at 10 a.m., I'll see you at the county's office. If you don't show up, I'll file for divorce directly. With that, I went upstairs to pack my things. Behind me, I heard Marcus and Chloe whispering to each other. I couldn't make out the words, but I could guess the gist of it. Half an hour later, I dragged my suitcase downstairs. Only was in the living room. Chloe had already left. Grace, do we really have to go this far?
He looked exhausted. Give me another chance.
I promise I won't make the same mistake again. I stopped. Marcus, if you had confessed yesterday or shown even a hint of remorse today, I might have considered forgiving you. But you didn't. You even defended her after I caught you. I forget it. I waved my hand. See you tomorrow. I checked into a nearby hotel. Lying on the unfamiliar bed, I sent Alex a WhatsApp message. Are you there? I have Summit H to ask you. Alex replied quickly. Yes. What's wrong? What are the procedures for divorce? My cell phone rang. It was Alex calling. Grace, what happened? His voice was urgent. I took a deep breath. Marcus committed infidelity. I want a divorce. There was silence on the other end for a few seconds. Where are you right now? I'll come to you. No need. It's too late. Let's arrange a time to talk in detail tomorrow.
Okay.
Don't overthink things. Let me know if you need anything at all. I hung up and leaned back against the headboard, finally allowing myself to grieve for a while. 3 years of marriage. Just like that, it was over. The next morning, I received a WhatsApp message from Marcus. Grace, I thought about it all night. Can we talk again? I didn't reply and went directly to the county's office instead. At 9:50 a.m., I sat on a chair at the county's office, waiting for him. At 10:05 a.m., Marcus rushed in with Chloe following behind him. Why did you bring her? I frowned. Chloe has something to say to you, Marcus explained. Chloe walked up to me, looking utterly pitiful. Grace, I thought about yesterday all night. I feel I should step aside. You and Marcus are still married and I shouldn't ruin your relationship. I watched her performance, finding it quite amusing, and so I decided to resign, leave the city, and never contact Marcus again. Her eyes welled up as she spoke. As long as you can forgive Marcus, I'm willing to do anything. Marcus chimed in. Grace, see. Chloe is willing to sacrifice herself. Just forgive me this once. I promise I'll never make the same mistake again. I listened to them in silence, then asked, Are you done with your act? Both of them froze. I stood up. Marcus, do you take me for a fool? Yesterday you were embracing in bed, and today you come here with this sob story. Grace, Chloe is sincere.
Sincere?
I cut him off. If she sincerely wanted to step aside, she wouldn't have slept with you all night. And if you sincerely wanted to win me back, you wouldn't have brought her here today. I took the divorce papers from my bag. Either sign them now or I'll file for divorce. You choose. Marcus's face was grim. Do you have to make such a scene? Make a scene. I sneered.
Who started this?
Who committed marital betrayal? Seeing things turn sour, Chloe started crying again. Grace, how can you be so heartless? Marcus has sacrificed so much for this family. Are you going to destroy everything over one mistake? Sacrificed? I looked at Marcus. Tell me, what have you sacrificed for this family? Marcus was left speechless. Indeed, after we got married, my parents helped pay the mortgage. I did all the housework, and I even washed his clothes. Aside from handing over his salary each month, he truly hadn't sacrificed anything. And now I realize that most of the salary he handed over went to buying gifts for Chloe. Forget it. I'm done wasting my breath on you, too. I picked up the papers and started to leave. Marcus panicked and grabbed my arm. Grace, calm down. Let's talk properly. Talk about what? How you betrayed me, or how you played me for a fool. I yanked my hand away. Marcus, it's been 3 years. I've had enough. Had enough? He looked puzzled. What have you been putting up with? I looked at him, suddenly feeling utterly exhausted. Putting up with you never initiating conversation, after work with you preferring to stay home playing video games on weekends instead of going out with me. With you never remembering my birthday, or our wedding anniversary, with you treating me like a free housekeeper. I thought these were minor issues that as long as we were married, feelings would gradually develop. But now I understand you never truly cared about me. Marcus opened his mouth but couldn't utter a word. Noticing the tension, Chloe started stirring trouble again. Grace, what you're saying is too much. Marcus works so hard. Of course, he wants to rest when he comes home. How can you expect him to accommodate you everywhere? I turned to her. Chloe, how old are you? 23, a 23-year-old girl trying to teach me how to be a wife. I sneered. You don't even know what marriage is, yet you dare to interfere in someone else's. And you say Marcus works hard. He's a department manager, works 9 to 5, has weekends off, plus annual leave. He's far from those who truly work hard. Don't portray him as some great figure. He's just an ordinary office worker. Chloe blushed at my words, but still retorted defiantly. Then why don't you try to make yourself better instead of expecting others to accommodate you better? I laughed. I started working right after college, and I've saved $150,000 in these 3 years. What about you? You're an intern with a salary of $3,000 and you dare to look down on me? Those words struck a nerve with Chloe, and her face instantly turned ugly. Marcus finally spoke up in her defense. Grace, don't be so harsh. Chloe is still young. Young is a shield. Young means you can be shameless. I looked at him. Marcus, I've truly seen your true colors now. I ignored them and walked directly to the service window.
Hello.
I'd like to inquire about the process for filing for divorce. The staff member patiently explained it to me, and I carefully noted every detail. Behind me, I heard Marcus and Chloe arguing, but I didn't look back. After leaving the county's office, I called Alex. Alex, are you free? I need your help with something. Of course I am. Where are you? I'll pick you up. Half an hour later, Alex drove to pick me up. In the car, I recounted everything that had happened from yesterday until now. Alex listened, then remained silent for a long time. Grace, have you made up your mind? Are you really going through with the divorce? Yes, I have. All right, I'll take this case for you. He turned to.
Look at me.
I'll help you get everything you deserve. I nodded, finally feeling a sense of peace. At least I wasn't fighting alone. Marcus probably never expected that I would actually file for divorce. When he received the court summons, he rushed directly to my company to find me. Grace, have you lost your mind? Are you really going to take this to the courthouse? He slammed his hand on my office desk in a fit of rage. All my colleagues around us looked over. I felt utterly humiliated. Marcus, this is my workplace. Please mind your image, I said calmly. Image, he smeared. You're suing me. And you want to talk about image? You committed infidelity first. Is there a problem with me filing for divorce? I closed my laptop. If you want to talk, let's go outside. We went to the coffee downstairs at the company building. Marcus sat down and immediately started accusing me. Grace, I know I made a mistake, but isn't what you're doing too heartless? We're still married after all. Can't we resolve this privately?
Resolve this privately.
I picked up my coffee cup. Are you referring to yesterday bringing your mistress to put on a show for me? Chloe isn't my mistress. We're serious. His eyes darted around as he said this. I smiled. Serious? So, when are you getting married? Marcus froze. Why so quiet? Haven't you thought about marriage? Or do you just want to play around? I pressed. He stammered, unable to speak. Marcus, you can't even fool yourself, yet you expect to fool me. I set down my coffee cup. You just think I'm easy to manipulate. You committed infidelity and still want me to forgive you so you can continue living your carefree life. I didn't. Didn't? Then why aren't you willing to divorce? If you truly loved Chloe, divorce should be a good thing for you. Marcus was left utterly speechless by my questions. I knew perfectly well that his reason for not wanting a divorce was simple. He couldn't bear to lose me, his free hoe. Seeper, for the past 3 years, I'd handled all the housework, taking meticulous care of his every need. If we divorced, he'd have to do his own laundry and cooking, and he'd also have to bear half the mortgage. Besides, Chloe is only 23, at an age where she wants to have fun. Why would she be willing to do his laundry and cooking? Grace, I admit I was selfish, but can't we truly give each other another chance? His tone softened. A chance? I sneered. Marcus, why didn't you think about giving me a chance when you committed infidelity? And do you think I would ever trust you again? I looked at him. Today, you can betray me for Chloe. Tomorrow, you can betray her for another woman. Marcus's face was very grim.
What do you mean by that?
Literally what I said. I stood up. Marcus, there's absolutely no possibility for us anymore. Just as I was about to leave, Marcus suddenly said, Grace, do you really think you'll find someone better after a divorce? You're already 27. What kind of competitive edge does a woman your age have in the dating market? I stopped and turned to face him. Are you implying that I should be grateful you're willing to keep me? I didn't say that, but that's just the reality. His words grew increasingly nasty. Aside from being moderately attractive, what advantages do you have? Your family background is average. Your job is average. Your education is average. Women like you're a dime a dozen. I listened to his words in silence, feeling no anger, only a sense of liberation. Marcus, thank you. I said sincerely. He looked puzzled. Thank me for what? Thank you for showing me your true colors. I smiled. For 3 years, I always thought I wasn't good enough, which was why you were distant. Now I understand. It's not that I'm not good enough. It's that you're not worthy. What did you say? A man who betrays his wife. A man who acts self-righteous after committing infidelity. A man who uses insult. TS to threaten his ex-wife. Tell me, how are you worthy of me? Marcus's face went pale with anger. Grace, don't be so arrogant. Arrogant? I pulled out my cell phone. I just made a phone recording. Everything you just said, I'll play it for the judge in court. What do you think the judge will think of a man like that? Marcus's face instantly changed. Grace, what? I put my cell phone away. Marcus, do you think I'm still the naive and sweet girl I was 3 years ago? You're wrong. I've changed. Indeed, I had changed. 3 years of a cold marriage, 3 years of emotional torment, had long since transformed me from a naive girl into a pragmatic woman. I no longer fantasized about love. No longer expected him to change. I just wanted a life of my own. Grace, we really can't.
Can't what?
Can't get a divorce. I cut him off. Marcus, you don't have a choice. Either we get a divorce by agreement or I file for divorce. You decide. With that, I left. Behind me, I heard Marcus calling out, but I didn't look back. Back at the company, I received a call from Alex Grace. Marcus' lawyer contacted me. They want an out-of-court settlement. Settlement? I smeared. What are their terms? The house goes to you, but you'll have to take on the entire mortgage. Savings will be split equally, but you'll have to drop any claims regarding his diverting funds. Diverting funds? I was stunned. What do you mean? I checked your accounts. Over the past 6 months, Marcus transferred over $80,000 from your joint account. He should be required to include that money in the division, but their condition is for you to drop the claim. My hands trembled with anger. Over $80,000? I'll spend on Chloe. I don't agree, I said through clenched teeth. Alex, I'm going to fight this case to the very end.
Good.
I support you. Alex's voice was firm. Grace, I'll help you secure every single penny. I hung up the phone and sat in my office. Chair, my emotions tangled. 3 years of marriage, destined to end in a courthouse, but I had no regrets. Some paths are meant to be walked alone. The night before the hearing, Chloe sent me a WhatsApp message. Grace, can we talk? I ignored her. She sent another message. I'm downstairs at your place. Let's meet. I looked down from the window, and indeed saw her standing under the streetlights. I went downstairs to meet her. All right, what do you want? I asked directly. Chloe was wearing a white dress, looking utterly innocent. Grace, the hearing is tomorrow. I want to try to persuade you one last time. Do you really want to make things so ugly? Ugly? I sneered. Who made things ugly? I know it's my fault, but you truly can't force feelings. Her eyes re-eamed again as she spoke. Marcus and I are genuinely in love. Why can't you let us be together? Let you be together? I found her ridiculous. Chloe, get one thing straight. I am Marcus's wife. You're the third party. You destroyed my marriage. I'm not stopping you from being in love, but stopped loving you a long time ago. Your marriage was already a sham. I merely helped him find love again, she declared self-righteously. I was truly stunned by her brazenness. Chloe, you're only 23. Who taught you to say these things? She paused, then said, No one taught me. These are my true feelings. True feelings? I laughed. Would a woman who genuinely loves a man be with him, knowing full well he has a wife? Chloe, don't try to portray yourself as pure and innocent. You're just a shameless mistress. My voice grew colder. And do you really think Marcus loves you? Her face changed. What do you mean? Do you know why he's unwilling to divorce? I looked into her eyes because he can't bear to lose me. His free housekeeper. You're lying. Lying? I took out my cell phone. Let me show you something. I pulled up Marcus' chat logs with his friends. I found these on his cell phone yesterday. Look at what he says about you to his friends. Chloe took the cell phone, her face growing paler and paler. In the chat logs, Marcus had written, Man, I'm in a bind right now. My wife wants a divorce and my little mistress wants to get married.
Haha.
Serves you right for playing with fire. Mainly the wife is too useful. She handles all the chores and hands over her salary. It would be a shame to divorce her. What about the mistress? The mistress is young and pretty, but she's a bit expensive. And can someone her age really settle down? I'll probably get tired of her after a few years. So, what are you going to do? Ideally, my wife won't divorce me, and I can keep the mistress, so I don't lose out on either.
Dream on.
There's no such thing as a free lunch. I'll try. What if it works? After reading all this, Chloe's hands were trembling. This can't be true. Marcus isn't like that.
Her voice was weak. Not like that.
I took back my cell phone. Chloe, you've been fooled. In's eyes. You're just a young toy. Chloe stood there, her face pale.
Why?
Why did you show me this? Because I suddenly feel sorry for you, I said truthfully. At 23, you could have many choices, yet you choose to be a married man's mistress. Chloe cried. I thought he really loved me. Loved you? I sneered. If he truly loved you, he would have divorced me and married you long ago. Chloe, open your eyes and face reality. She cried bitterly, and a flicker of pity stirred within me. But pity is one thing. I won't forgive her. Chloe, I'm warning you one last time. Stay away from Marcus, I said, turning to leave. Wait, she called out to me. Grace, if I step aside, can you forgive Marcus? I looked back at her. Do you think that's possible? She fell silent. Chloe, some things once they happen cannot be undone. Marcus betrayed me, and that fact will never change. But no buts. I cut her off. My life doesn't need a man who betrayed me. With that, I left. Behind me, I heard Chloe's sobs, but I didn't look back. The saying, a pitiful person must have something detestable about them, fits her perfectly. Back at the hotel, I received a call from Marcus. Grace, did Chloe look for you? His voice was urgent. Yes. What did she tell you? Nothing much. Just asked me to let you two be together. I said indifferently. And you? I refused, I said directly. Marcus, I'll see you in courthouse tomorrow. Grace, let's talk again. I hung up the phone. 10 minutes later, Chloe sent Marcus a WhatsApp message asking about the chat logs. Marcus flatly denied it, claiming I fabricated them but didn't believe him, and they had a huge fight. Finally, Chloe tearfully said she wanted to break up. Marcus panicked, apologizing and making promises, eventually managing to appease her. I heard all of this from friends. They saw Marcus kneeling downstairs at the company building, begging Chloe for forgiveness. I merely let out a cold laugh when I heard it. A leopard doesn't change its spots. Marcus will never change, but none of it concerned me anymore. After the hearing tomorrow, I would be completely free. In the courthouse, Marcus had hired a very skilled lawyer. Their strategy was clear to portray me as a spiteful and willful woman and Marcus as a victim. My client admits he made a mistake, but MS. Grace's actions are overly extreme, Marcus's lawyer declared with fervent passion. To destroy a 3-year marriage over one instance of infidelity, isn't that excessive? I watched the performance with cold eyes. Alex stood up and retorted, "Your marital betrayal is a very serious matter, and Ms. Grace has the right to demand a divorce. Furthermore, according to our investigation, Mr. Marcus' act of infidelity was not an impulsive mistake, but a pattern of long-term betrayal." As he spoke, Alex presented the evidence. Hotel check-in records, transaction records, chat screenshots, and the photos I had secretly taken. The evidence was undeniable. Marcus' lawyer had nothing to say. However, they then began to quibble over property division. A significant portion of the savings Ms. Grace is requesting to divide constitutes Mr. Marcus' personal income and should not be considered marital community property. Alex scoffed. Then, what about the down payment for the house and the renovation costs? These were all paid by Ms. Grace's parents. Following the opposing counsel's logic, these shouldn't be considered marital community property either, should they? Marcus' lawyer was left speechless. Indeed, when we got married, my parents paid the down payment for the house and also covered the renovation costs. Marcus contributed nothing more than signing his name. The judge asked Marcus, "Mr. Defendant, what are your objections to the plaintiff's petition for divorce?" Marcus stood up and glanced at me. I admit I made a mistake, but I genuinely want to salvage this marriage. I hope the court can grant us a cooling-off period to reconsider." A cooling-off period? I nearly burst out laughing. The judge then asked me, "Miss Plaintiff, what is your stance?" I stood up, my voice firm. My stance is clear. I want a divorce. Mr. Marcus betrayed our marriage and hurt my feelings. I cannot forgive his actions. Furthermore, I do not need a cooling-off period. My decision will not change." The judge nodded and then began to inquire about the property division. The process was complex and both lawyers argued for a long time. Finally, the judge announced a recess with the verdict to be delivered in 1 week. Leaving the courthouse, Marcus caught up to me. "Grace, are you truly going to be so ruthless?" His face was grim. "Ruthless?" I stopped. "Marcus, who is ruthless first? I know I made a mistake, but everyone has the right to make mistakes. Why can't you give me a chance to correct it?" "A chance?" I looked at him. "Marcus, if I hadn't discovered your infidelity today, would you have confessed on your own?" He fell silent.
"No, you wouldn't have."
"You would have continued to lie to me, continued to betray me."
My voice was cold.
What would I do giving a man like that a chance? "Grace, don't call my name. We have nothing to do with each other anymore." I turned and walked away. Alex drove me back to the hotel. "Grace, you handled yourself very well today," he said in the car. "Thank you, Alex." I leaned back against the seat, feeling very tired. "Without you, I honestly don't know what I would have done. We're friends. It's what friends do." He glanced at me. "But have you really made your decision to completely end this marriage?" "Yes, I have." I nodded. For 3 years, I kept waiting for him to love me, but I was mistaken. He will never love me, and I don't want to waste any more time. Alex was silent for a moment, then said, "Grace, you're still young. You'll meet someone better in the future." "Maybe." I smiled faintly. "But right now, I just want to live my life well and not think about relationships." "I understand." The car stopped downstairs at the hotel where I was staying. I prepared to get out. "Alex, thank you," I said sincerely. "Grace," he suddenly called out to me. "Yes." He seemed to hesitate, then finally just said, "If you need anything at all, don't hesitate to contact me." "Okay." I got out of the car and watched his car disappear into the night. Back in my hotel room, I lay on the bed, my emotions complex. 3 years of marriage were coming to an end. Although it was my choice, I still felt a sense of emptiness. I took out my cell phone and saw a WhatsApp message from Marcus. Grace, can't we really try again? I can break up with Chloe. I stared at the message for a long time, then finally deleted his contact. Some people, some things, once they're over, they're truly over. I didn't want to leave myself any possibility of going back. The next day at work, my colleagues looked at me. Why? Strange expressions. I knew they were talking about my situation, but I didn't care. During lunch, my direct supervisor asked to speak with me. Miss Grace, I heard you've been having some family issues recently. Yes, but it won't affect my work, I replied. I'm not worried about your work performance. He paused. What I wanted to say is if you need to take time off to handle personal matters, the company understands.
I was a little surprised.
I hadn't expected my supervisor to be so understanding. Thank you for your understanding. If needed, I will apply for leave. Also, we've all seen your work capabilities. If you're willing, I can recommend you for a manager position at the branch office. Manager?
Yes.
The salary is 50% higher than your current one, and the benefits are better. Think about it. A wave of warmth washed over me. Perhaps this was the beginning of a new life. A week later, the courthouse ruling came down. I won the case. They ruled our divorce with the house going to me, but I would be responsible for the remaining mortgage. Savings would be divided according to legal stipulations. But Marcus had to disclose the $80,000 he diverted. Marcus was very unhappy with the ruling, but his lawyer told him it was already the best possible outcome. The moment I completed the divorce procedures and walked out of the county's office, I felt a sense of rebirth. Alex was waiting for me at the entrance. Congratulations, Grace, he said, smiling. Thank you. I smiled, too. Alex, I'm treating you to dinner today. Let's celebrate properly. We went to a restaurant with a pleasant ambiance. During the meal, Alex asked me, "What are your plans now?" "I'm going to move into my new house and then focus on work," I thought for a moment. "Oh, and the company wants to promote me to manager. I'm going to accept." "That's great. Congratulations. Also, I want to go back to school and improve myself." Alex nodded. "That's a great idea. You're still young and have unlimited potential." We talked about many things from work to life, from the past to the future. I realized Alex was a great listener and very good at comforting people. "Alex, these past 3 years, if it weren't for your help, I truly don't know what I would have done. Grace, we're friends. It's what friends do."
He paused.
"Besides, I've always felt you deserve a better life." My heart warmed, but I didn't dwell on it. Now all I wanted was to focus on living my own life well. After dinner, Alex drove me back to my newly rented apartment. It was a small one-bedroom apartment, not large, but very cozy. Most importantly, it held no memories of Marcus. "Are you safe living here alone?" Alex asked, a hint of worry in his voice. "I'll be fine. The security in this neighborhood is very strict." I opened the door. "Would you like to come in for some tea?" "No, it's getting late. You should get some rest." He checked his watch. "I have a court case tomorrow. Drive safely." In. After left, I sat alone on the couch looking at my own little haven. Though not spacious, every item here was chosen by me, giving me a sense of security I'd never experienced before. I brewed a pot of tea and sat on the balcony, gazing at the night view. The city lights were beautiful, and my mind felt calm.
My phone rang.
It was an unfamiliar number. "Hello, Grace. It's me." It was Chloe's voice. I frowned. "What do you want?" "I want to see you. There are some things I need to tell you." Her voice sounded downcast. "There's nothing for us to talk about." "Grace, please, just one last time," she pleaded. After thinking it over, I agreed. "Tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The usual coffee." "Okay, thank you." After hanging up, I felt a flicker of curiosity. What could Chloe want with me? The next afternoon, I arrived at the coffee on time. Chloe was already waiting for me. She looked haggard, her eyes red and swollen, clearly having cried. "Grace, thank you for agreeing to see me."
Her voice was weak. Go on.
What is it? I asked directly. Marcus and I broke up, she said, looking down. I was somewhat surprised, but I didn't show it. What does that have to do with me? The chat logs you showed me that day were real. I asked Marcus about it. He denied it at first, but eventually confessed. She looked up at me. Grace, I'm so sorry. What's the point of saying all this now? I know there's no point, but I have to say it. Her tears started flowing again. I always thought Marcus genuinely loved me, but it turns out I was just his play. I listened in silence, not speaking. Grace, you know what? When I found out the truth, I finally understood how you felt back then. She choked out. Being betrayed by the person you trusted most, that feeling truly hurts. So, my tone was indifferent. I want to apologize to you. A sincere apology. She stood up and bowed deeply. I'm sorry I ruined your marriage. I was too naive and selfish. Watching her like that, I felt a complex mix of emotions. Chloe, an apology can't change anything, I said. I know, but I have to apologize. She wiped away her tears. Grace, I only understand now why you were willing to get a divorce rather than forgive Marcus. Oh, because someone who has betrayed you is never worthy of trust, she said with a wry smile. I'm experiencing that feeling now, too. I nodded. You finally get it, Grace. I'm going to leave this city now and start fresh, she said. I have a question for you. What is it? Do you still hate me? I thought for a moment and said, I don't hate you, but I won't forgive you either. I understand. She nodded. Grace, I hope you find happiness. I will. Chloe stood up to leave, turning back to look at me one last time at the door. Grace, thank you for showing me those chat logs that day. Although it was brutal, it made me see the truth. She left and I sat in the coffee feeling calm. Chloe's apology no longer mattered to me. What mattered was that she finally paid the price for her actions. As for me, I had already started a new life. That evening back home, I received a call from my mom. Grace, I heard you got divorced. My mom's voice was full of concern. Yes, the paperwork is finalized. My child, how are you doing now? Do you need any help? I'm doing great, Mom. You don't need to worry. I reassured her. This was my own choice, and I don't regret it. As long as you feel it's right. My mom sighed. Dad, I always felt he wasn't reliable. I laughed. Mom, why didn't you say so sooner? You liked him back then, so you wouldn't have listened to anything I said. My mom chuckled, too. Now it's for the best. You're free. Yes, I'm free. After talking with my mom for a long time, I felt even lighter. My family support gave me more confidence to face my new life. The first month after my divorce was fulfilling. At work, I was officially promoted to supervisor. My salary increased significantly, and my responsibilities became more challenging. In my personal life, I signed up for yoga and English classes, always having something to do after work. On weekends, I'd go shopping or to the movie with friends, or simply stay home to read and listen to music. This life was peaceful and satisfying. But that peace was shattered by Marcus. That day I was reading at home when the doorbell rang. I thought it was a delivery. But when I opened the door, I saw Marcus standing there. How did you know I live here? I asked, frowning. I asked her colleagues. He looked haggard, unshaven, and his eyes were bloodshot. Do you want something? I didn't invite him in. Grace, I want to talk. His voice was there's nothing left for us to talk about. Grace, I was wrong. I truly know I was wrong. He suddenly knelt down. Please give me another chance. Let me start over. I was startled by his action and quickly pulled him to his feet. Marcus, are you insane? Why are you kneeling in the hallway? I'm not insane. I just want my wife back. He grabbed my hand. Grace, Chloe, and I have broken up. Can we start over? I pulled my hand away from him. Marcus, we're divorced. Legally, we have no relationship anymore. Law is law, but what about our feelings? What feelings? I scoffed. Marcus, you yourself said we had no emotional foundation. I said that in anger. Enough. I cut him off. Marcus, what exactly do you want from me? He was silent for a moment, then said, Grace, I want to remarry you. Remarry? I found it ridiculous. Marcus, do you know what you're saying? I do. I've thought it through. His gaze was serious. Grace, living alone these past few months, I realized I'm nothing without you. Without you, I can't do laundry, can't cook, can't clean the apartment. He continued, I only just realized how important you are to me. Hearing those words, I felt no emotion but disgust. Marcus, so you want to remarry because you need a housekeeper? No, I truly love you. He quickly explained. Love me?
I scoffed. What do you love about me?
That I did your laundry and cooked your meals, or that I wouldn't betray you? Grace, Marcus, you don't even know what love is. I looked at him. You're just used to being taken care of. Used to having someone sacrifice for you. Once you lose that, you panic. He was left speechless by my words. And even if I were willing to remarry, can you guarantee you won't commit infidelity again? I continued. Can you guarantee you won't betray me again?
I can. I swear. Swear.
I shook my head. Marcus, your vows are worthless. Grace, I'll prove it with my actions. No need. I explicitly refused. Marcus, we're over. Completely over. But no buts. I started to close the door. Please stop bothering my life.
Grace.
He blocked the door. Are you really that heartless? Our 3 years of marital bond. Marital bond. I laughed in anger. Marcus, you were the first to betray our marital bond. Remembering it now? Too late. I slammed the door shut. Marcus knocked for a long time outside, but I ignored him. Finally, he left. I leaned against the door, my emotions in turmoil. Not because I still loved Marcus, but because his persistence was incredibly irritating. I called Alex and told him what had just happened. Grace, do you need to apply for a restraining order? Alex asked, concerned. Not yet. I don't think he'll resort to extreme behavior, I said. But if he harasses me again, I'll call the police. Okay, contact me anytime if anything happens. Thank you, Alex. After hanging up, I sat on the couch and my mood slowly settled. I wouldn't waver because of Marcus' persistence. I had made up my mind. I would absolutely not look back. However, for the next few days, Marcus truly didn't come looking for me again. I thought he had given up, but I didn't realize bigger trouble was waiting for me. That day, coming home from work, I met some strangers downstairs. Excuse me, are you Grace? A middle-aged woman stopped me. Yes, and you are? I'm Marcus' mother, the woman said. I'd like to talk to you. I froze. Marcus' mother. We had been married for 3 years, and I could count the times I'd seen her on one hand. Mrs. Martha, what can I do for you? It's about Marcus? She looked very serious. I heard you two got divorced. Yes, why? She asked directly. You two seemed fine. Why did you get a divorce? I found it laughable that Marcus hadn't even told his mother about his infidelity. Mrs. Martha, you should ask Marcus that question. I did ask him, and he said you were being unreasonable. She frowned. Grace, I know you're a good girl. Is there some misunderstanding between you two? Misunderstanding? Mrs. Martha, there's no misunderstanding. Marcus committed infidelity. I said directly. Marcus's mother froze. Infidelity. Impossible. Marcus isn't that kind of person. That kind of person. I scoff. Federal, Mrs. Martha. Your son slept with another woman right in front of me. What else would you call that but infidelity? Her face changed. You? What did you say? I said Marcus committed infidelity with an intern from the company. I saw it with my own eyes. I repeated. Marcus's mother stood there speechless for a long time. Mrs. Martha, if your son didn't tell you the truth, that's his problem. I said, but please don't come here to accuse me. But Marcus said what he said doesn't matter anymore. The facts do. I interrupted her. Mrs. Martha, Marcus and I are divorced. Legally, we have no relationship. Please stop disturbing my life. With that, I went upstairs. Behind me, I heard Marcus's mother crying, but I didn't look back. Families are fiercely protective of their own. She came to me simply hoping I'd go back and continue to take care of her son, but I wouldn't. Never. The following month was peaceful. Marcus never came looking for me again. My life was back on track. Work was going smoothly, and my friendships were strong. But the good times didn't last long before I ran into trouble again. This time it was a company issue. Our company got a new director who was said to be parachuted in and had a very deep background. After Randall took office, he began implementing sweeping reforms. Many veteran employees were either reassigned or let go. I had assumed my good work performance would protect me, but unexpectedly, he sought me out. "Ms. Grace, I hear you've recently divorced." Director asked me in his office. "Yes, Director." I wasn't sure what he meant. "Divorced women often tend to be emotionally unstable at work," he said with a smirk. "I worry it could affect work efficiency." I frowned.
Director.
"My work efficiency has always been high, and you've seen my performance this month. Your performance is good, but I'm concerned about your consistency." He leaned back in his chair. "However, if you're willing to cooperate with me, I might consider keeping you on." "Cooperate with me?" I was a bit confused. "Join me for dinner tonight, and we can discuss your career path in more detail." His gaze made me very uncomfortable. I understood what he meant, and a wave of nausea washed over me. "Director, if it's about work, we can discuss it in the office." I clearly refused. The office is too formal. I prefer a relaxed environment. He stood up and walked towards me. "Miss Grace, you're a smart woman. You should understand what I mean." "I understand," I said, standing up as well. "But I refuse." Director's face instantly darkened. "Are you sure you want to refuse me?" "Absolutely." "All right, you can go." He waved his hand. Remember, in this company, I called the shots. I left his office, my heart heavy. I knew he was threatening me, but I would never compromise. During lunch, I told a few close colleagues about what happened. "Grace, you need to be careful," Lisa said, concerned. "Director has a very deep background. If he wants to target you, it'll be hard for you to stay at this company." "Even so, I won't compromise," I said firmly. "But you just got divorced. If your job isn't stable," Amy hesitated. "If this job isn't stable, I can find a new one. But if I compromise, I won't be myself anymore." Everyone fell silent. I knew they meant well, but some things are absolutely non-negotiable. That afternoon, I received a notice from the HR department stating there were issues with my work that required an investigation. I looked at the supposed problems. They were all trivial matters, pure nitpicking. But I knew this was just the beginning. Over the next few days, Director went out of his way to make things difficult for me, assigning me impossible tasks and then criticizing me for not completing them. I endured it, continuing to work hard. But a week later, the HR department informed me that my work performance was insufficient and I would be demoted and have my salary cut. I finally reached my breaking point. I went straight to Director. "Director, I need an explanation," I said, standing in his office. "An explanation for what?" He didn't even look up. "Why are you targeting me?" "Targeting you?" He looked up, his gaze cold. "Ms. Grace, your work performance simply isn't good enough. Who can you blame but yourself? Everyone in the department knows about my work ability." I argued. "You're using your position for personal vendettas." "Using your position for personal vendettas?" He stood up. "Ms. Grace, watch your tone. I'm stating the facts." I didn't back down. "Director, if you're looking for unethical advances, go find someone else. I'm not that kind of person." "What did you say?" His face turned ugly. "Ms. Grace, you're making baseless accusations. Whether it's baseless accusations or not, you know the truth in your heart." I looked at him coldly. "Director, let me tell you, I will not compromise ever."
Fine.
"Very good." He laughed, fueled by rage. "Ms. Grace, since you have such backbone, then just wait to be fired." "If I'm fired, then I'm fired." "I don't care for this job," I said, turning to leave. "Wait," he called out, stopping me. "Ms. Grace, don't think you'll find a better job just by leaving here. In this industry, my word still carries some weight." I turned back to look at him. "Director, are you threatening me?" "Not a threat, a warning," he said with a sinister smile. "A smart person should know how to choose." I said nothing more and left his office directly. Returning to my desk, I started to pack my things. Since I couldn't stay here, I would leave. I didn't believe I couldn't find a job just by leaving this place. Lisa and the others were shocked to see me packing my things. "Grace, are you quitting?" "Yes, this place isn't for me," I said calmly. "But if you quit now, it'll be hard to find a better job. Amy said, worried.
There'll always be a way.
I packed my last item. Take care, everyone. Let's keep in touch. I went to the HR department to finalize my resignation, and then I left the company. Stepping out of the company building, I took a deep breath. Though unemployed, I had no regrets. Some things are more important than a job, like dignity. That evening back home, I called Alex and told him what had happened today. Grace, you did the right thing. Alex supported my decision. Such a person isn't worth compromising for, but now I'm unemployed and I still have rent and mortgage payments. The pressure is immense, I said, a little worried. It's okay. I can introduce you to other companies.
He reassured me.
With your abilities, you'll definitely find a better job. Thank you, Alex. Don't mention it. We're friends. After hanging up, I sat on the couch, lost in thought. From my divorce until now, I had been through so much, but I had no regrets. Every choice I made was after careful consideration. Although the path was difficult, I would persevere because I knew that only by doing so could I become my true self. In the second week of my unemployment, Alex genuinely found me a job. It was at a friend's company, dealing with cultural media business. I performed well during the interview and was hired on the spot. The salary was even higher than before and the work environment was excellent. Most importantly, the company's owner was a woman in her 30s, very capable and upright. Her name was Eleanor, and she chatted with me for a long time after the interview. Grace, Alex told me about your previous experience, she said directly. I want to say you did exactly the right thing. Thank you for your understanding in my company. Such things will absolutely not happen, she said seriously. I hope you can fully utilize your talents here. I was very grateful for Eleanor's trust and decided to work diligently here. After starting the new job, my life returned to normal. The colleagues at this company were all friendly, and the work atmosphere was excellent. I was responsible for client relationship management, which required frequent communication with clients, perfectly utilizing my strengths. A month later, I completed 3 major projects and earned Eleanor's praise. Grace, your workability is outstanding and I'm considering promoting you to department manager, Eleanor said at the monthly meeting. That fast? I was a little surprised. Capable people should be given positions that match their abilities, she said with a smile. Are you willing to accept this challenge? Of course. Just like that, after working at the new company for 3 months, I was promoted to department manager. My salary doubled, and I also received stock options. I truly hadn't expected that leaving my previous company would turn out to be a good thing. On the weekend, I invited Alex to dinner to thank him for his help. Alex, without you, I wouldn't have found a new job so quickly, I said sincerely. That's your own ability. I just made the introduction. He waved his hand. Besides, Eleanor told me your work performance is exceptional. I really enjoy my current job. I feel so fulfilled every day. Seeing you doing well makes me happy, too. Alex looked at me. Grace, you seem much more confident now than before. Maybe it's because I finally found a life that suits me. I smiled. Divorce was painful, but it allowed me to rediscover myself. That's good. We talked about many things from work to life, from the past to the future. I realized Alex was truly a wonderful friend, gentle, considerate, and trustworthy. After dinner, Alex drove me home. Grace, I have a question for you, he said in the car. What is it? Have you considered starting a new relationship now? His voice was a little tense. I paused for a moment. Not yet. I want to focus on my work for a while. I understand. He nodded. But what if? If the right person came along, would you consider it? I looked at him, and I began to understand. Alex, you GRAs. I know this might not be the right time to say this. He interrupted me. But I have to tell you, I like you, not as a friend, but as a man likes a woman. I was silent. I know you've just been through a failed marriage, and you might not want to start a new relationship so soon. He continued, I can wait for whenever you're ready, Alex. You don't have to give me an answer now. Take your time to think about it. He looked straight ahead. I just wanted you to know how I feel. The car stopped downstairs from my building, and neither of us spoke. Grace, no matter what your answer is, we'll still be friends. That won't change, Alex said. Finally. I know. I got out of the car. Alex, can you give me some time? Of course. After I went upstairs, my emotions were complex. Alex was a wonderful man, gentle, considerate, and responsible. 3 years ago, I would have accepted his feelings without hesitation. But now, I wasn't ready. I needed time to heal my emotional wounds, time to rediscover myself. Perhaps one day in the future, I would reconsider matters of the heart. But for now, I just wanted to work hard and live my life well. The next day at work, I poured all my energy into my tasks. Eleanor assigned me a very important project that required a week-long business trip out of town. I gladly accepted the assignment. It was a good way to keep myself busy and avoid thinking about complicated emotional issues. The destination for the business trip was a charming southern town with beautiful scenery and fresh air. There I met a very interesting client. He was the owner of a local cultural company. Daniel, around 30 years old, and very talented. We cooperated very well, and the project progressed smoothly. Manager, you are truly professional, Daniel said after the project concluded. It was a pleasure working with you. Thank you, Mr. Daniel was very cooperative as well. If there are future opportunities for collaboration, I hope to work with you. You are team again. There definitely will be. Before I left, Daniel asked me, Manager, do you often come here for business trips? Not necessarily. It depends on the project. If you come again, you must let me know. I'll take you to see the sights here. They're beautiful. I nodded with a smile. Back at the company, I submitted the project report to Eleanor. Grace, you did an excellent job, she said after reviewing the report. Mr. Daniel is very satisfied with our services and has even proactively proposed another collaboration project. That's wonderful. And he specifically praised you, saying, You're very professional, Eleanor said with a smile. It seems I made the right choice in hiring you. I was very happy, but at the same time, Alex's words came to mind. Perhaps it was time to seriously consider matters of the heart, but I needed to figure out what I truly wanted. 3 months later, I gave Alex my answer. It was a weekend, and I arranged to meet him in the park. Alex, I've made up my mind, I said, sitting on a park bench. Oh, he seemed a little nervous. I'm very grateful for your continuous care and help. You're a truly good man, I said. Seriously. However, I think it's best if we remain friends. Alex was silent for a moment, then nodded. I understand. It's not because you're not good enough, but because I'm not ready yet, I explained. I've thought a lot lately, and I've realized I need more time to grow, to find my true self. I understand. He smiled, though a bit forced. Grace, I support whatever you choose. Thank you for your understanding. However, I have one question, he said, looking at me. Is it because you haven't moved on from your previous marriage? I shook my head. No, I've completely let go of Marcus. I just feel that I still need time to figure out what kind of life I truly want for myself right now. That's good. He let out a sigh of relief. I was worried you might stop believing in love because of what happened, Ed, with Marcus. No, I won't. I smiled. When it comes to love, you naturally want to try it when you meet the right person. Then I hope you meet the right person soon, he said sincerely. Thank you. We talked for a while longer, and the atmosphere was relaxed. I was relieved that Alex understood me so well. Our friendship hadn't been affected by this. That evening, back home, I received an unexpected call. Grace, it's me. It was Marcus's voice. I frowned. What do you want? I want to tell you something. His voice was low. I'm getting married. I paused for a moment. Married to whom? A girl I met through a matchmaker. She's 5 years younger than me and comes from a good family background. He said the wedding is next month. Oh, congratulations, I said calmly. Grace, aren't you going to ask me why I'm getting married? He seemed surprised by my reaction. Why would I ask? I countered. Your affairs have nothing to do with me. I'm getting married because he paused. It's because I want to prove to you that I can be loyal to one woman. I laughed. Marcus, you don't need to prove anything to me. I have no interest in your affairs. But if there's nothing else, I'm hanging up. I cut him off. I wish you a happy marriage. With that, I hung up. I couldn't quite describe the feeling. perhaps a slight sense of relief. Marcus was finally getting married, which meant he had truly let go of our past. And I, too, could finally stop worrying about him bothering me again. The next day at work, I told a few close colleagues about the news.
What?
Marcus is getting married. Lisa was shocked. He found someone new so quickly. Men, they always find a new partner quickly after a divorce, Amy said. Unlike women who are devalued after a divorce. What's this about being devalued? I shook my head. Everyone has the right to choose their own way of life. Grace is right, Ella Laner said, walking over. A woman's worth isn't determined by her marital status, but by her abilities and character. Eleanor is right. I fully agreed with her. Speaking of which, Grace, have you considered starting a new relationship now? Eleanor asked me. I shook my head. Not yet. My current life is very good, and I don't want to change it.
True.
You can't rush matters of the heart, Eleanor smiled. But I think you're in a great place right now. Confident, independent, and charming. Thank you, Eleanor. Indeed, I was more competent now than ever before. Work was going smoothly, and my life was fulfilling. I had my own circle of friends, my own hobbies, and my own life plan. I no longer needed to rely on others to prove my worth, nor did I fear living alone. A month later, Marcus truly got married. I heard about it from friends. They said the wedding was grand, and the bride was beautiful. I simply smiled faintly when I heard it, feeling nothing in particular. The man who once caused me so much pain now truly had nothing to do with me anymore. It was a good feeling, like finally letting go of a heavy burden. 6 months later, I received the Employee of the Year award at the company's annual. When presenting the award, Eleanor said, "Grace is the pride of our company. She has proven with her own efforts what the power of a professional woman truly means." Loud applause erupted from the audience. I stood on stage, my heart filled with a sense of accomplishment. This past year, I had experienced so much. From a woman dependent on her marriage to an independent career woman. From being lost and struggling to having clear goals. From self-doubt to radiating confidence. I had finally become the person I wanted to be. That evening back home, I stood on the balcony looking at the city's night view. A year ago, I never would have imagined I'd have this life today. Perhaps this was growth, transformation through pain, and becoming stronger through adversity. I took out my phone and sent my mom a WhatsApp message. "Mom, I'm doing great, better than ever." My mom quickly replied, "As long as you're happy, I'm proud of you." Seeing my mom's message, I smiled. Yes, I was happy, fulfilled, and proud. Proud of myself. Perhaps I would find love again in the future. Perhaps not. But none of that mattered anymore. What mattered was that I had found myself, found a life that belonged to me, and that was enough.